Hey you guys, welcome back to Vera's View. I'm here once again to run down this week's Raw and SmackDown. I don't have too much to say, so let's get right to it, shall we? And start off with my fails for Raw. My first fail was the Miz TV segment. What the actual heck was that? Like, what a disaster of a segment. LeVar Ball, whoever the hell that is, because I have no idea, I don't follow basketball, he would not shut up. It was just not a good idea to have this as a live segment because this man is obviously a loose cannon. He is going off the rails. He just, won't let Miz speak. I feel like he was supposed to announce Dean Ambrose way sooner. He never did announce Dean Ambrose. I feel like the people in the back were like, the whole point of the segment was Dean Ambrose. Dean, get out there, try and save this. And there was no saving it at that point. He had taken his shirt off, he was cutting Miz off, he was cutting Dean off. One of the kids actually said the N-word twice while Dean Ambrose was coming out. We were on a delay here in Canada, I guess, so I didn't see it, but I watched it online after, and yikes, what a disaster for WWE. This was just a bad idea. My last fail for Raw is Cass turning on Enzo once again. I don't understand the point of doing it twice. They did it last week. Why bother to have him turn again? I felt the whole apology thing was just really awkward and weird. My wins for Raw start off with Goldust. I loved how he came out with his own golden-crusted cameraman. He attacked R-Truth before the match even started, so this leads me to believe this is not the grand finale after all. They will have to have a match at some point. My next win, in the next three wins actually, are all about the Samoa Joe Brock Lesnar angle because it was the highlight of Raw for me this week. Samoa Joe messing with Paul Heyman, however, backstage was a big win for me. I enjoyed how he had him in the cookie and clutch, and then he said, no, it's not for you this week, it's for your client. Later on, when Brock Lesnar does come out, Samoa Joe attacks him from behind, and not once, but 3 times he has him in position for the key and clutch, and he almost puts him to sleep. If it wasn't for members of the Raw roster breaking it up, he would have had the Beast Incarnate down and out. Keeping in line with that segment, we have Paul Heyman backstage talking about it, and he says a lot of things about Samoa Joe that I really enjoyed, especially when he talks about Samoa Joe being the Samoan that the other Samoans are ashamed of. I'm just loving this angle, top to bottom. Can't wait to see them fight. My last win for Raw is, of course, my girl, Sasha Banks, winning the gauntlet match and becoming the #1 contender for Alexa Bliss's Raw Women's Championship. Nia Jax looked really strong in this match, but I can't help but wonder if they're pushing her too hard too soon, because that tap out was pathetic. I don't know if she just a really bad seller, if she didn't want to sell for Sasha, if she was disgruntled about losing the match, because I feel like she might have a bit of an attitude. But, yeah, it was just pathetic. If you watch it, it's like she's like half passing out, half tapping out. It was just really sad, and it looked awful. I gotta say, you guys, I was impressed to see that the women did take a little page out of SmackDown's book and go on last this week. They were the main event. And you know what? The rest of Raw for me was pretty meh. It garnered little to no reaction either way, win or fail, so I'm just not going to talk about it. Moving over to SmackDown Live, my fails started off with Naomi versus Lana. I felt the match was too quick, too rushed. I don't know why they did it that way, but I didn't like it. Aiden English was my next fail for SmackDown Live because they were doing a singing angle with Elias Sampson over on Raw. Why are they gonna, reignite this singing thing for Aiden English? I just don't get it. And, of course, Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn was a fail for me because I do not want to see any Baron Corbin on my TV set, but I'm stuck with the Lone Wolf since he is Mr. Money in the Bank. I'm just sad to see that Sami Zayn didn't have his number again this week. My wins for SmackDown started off with Carmella's promo to Daniel Bryan when she's talking about the fact that she should still be Mrs. Money in the Bank, that she should not have been stripped of the title because she did not break any rules. It states in the rules that the first woman to gain possession becomes Mrs. Money in the Bank. There's nothing saying that that can't be handed the briefcase by somebody else. But Daniel Bryan holds to his guns, and then you're going to have the Money in the Bank rematch later on in the show, and we'll talk about that coming up. My next win is Fashion Files. They had a little angle where Fandango and Tyler Breeze have the Ascension backstage, and we find out it was not the Ascension who ransacked their office because it happened again while they had them in, police custody. I really don't think they should have had the Ascension take those tickets, though. It kind of made them look silly when they are kind of this tough-looking group of dudes. But whatever. Of course, my biggest win for SmackDown Live is that the women were again the main event, and it was Money in the Bank Take 2. It was one hell of a match. They got a holy shit chant. They got a this is awesome chant. There were some great spots in there. I loved every second of it, and I'm glad to say that Carmella is once again Mrs. Money in the Bank. I am glad to see they did not halt her push, because I just am really enjoying her right now. Love her theme song, love her attitude, love that she has like the James Ellsworth factor. He's a fun little thing to throw into their matches. So, you know what? I'm glad for her. Can't wait to see more of her coming up on SmackDown. Hopefully, she gains that title down the road. That's all for this week, you guys. Please check back soon for more Vera's View. I'm Vera for the WWFu InterNetwork.